Here's another morning of me waking up with my son in the bed because he was having night terrors. And whatever he does, his sister is going to do it too. So she's in here with me as well. I've been at home since April 20th. At first, I was just working from home, but as my son's condition got worse, I just decided to take some FMLA time off. Some days it's worse than others. Some days he can't walk at all. Some days I'm literally picking him up so he can go from room to room, but I just been trying to keep a positive mind frame and, stick to my normal routines. Lily Bear, say hey to everybody. So I know y'all probably up there wondering what FND is. Trust me, I didn't know what the hell it was either. And I feel like doing this video because I feel like more people need to be aware of it. Again, because we don't know what the hell it is. But FND is an abbreviation for functional neurological disorder. I be fucking up neurological, that's why I slowed down. But yeah, basically, to be serious with y'all, basically it's where the brain isn't signaling the rest of the body. It's not giving it messages for the rest of the body to function properly. And I don't know where the hell this came from. Like my son was hospitalized with this April 19th through the 21st this year, and they ran every possible test that they couldn't find nothing on his x-rays, couldn't find nothing in his blood, and so they just ruled it out as him having FND. And as time went on, I kind of felt like this stemmed from when he had COVID, because we all had COVID back in December 2020. I had it, my son had it, my daughter had it, and my mama had it. We all had it at the same time. And it's crazy that it happened like that, but I'm kind of glad that it did, because I didn't want to have it. Then months passed by, my kids have it, so I'm glad we all had it at once. However, even though I had it the worst out of everybody, my recovery time, like my COVID test anyhow, it was negative before everybody else. My son's was the last to be negative. His symptoms, he had like just a no taste, no smell, and he was still walking around like nothing was bothering him. His test finally got negative at the end of February. So, I'm going back to work. I'm thinking everything is okay. And then in April, he had pneumonia. Don't know where the hell that came from, because April, we in Texas, so it was warm, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck going on? And to me, I thought, okay, maybe this is just something to do with me, because I get pneumonia often. I had pneumonia 3 times within the past 4 years, and I never understood why I got it. But yeah, he had pneumonia, and he went to the hospital for that. And 2 days after he was discharged, that's when he started walking like bent over, hunched over. You know how you be seeing old people and they kind of, let me stand back, and they kind of like straight at y'all. But you know how people be hunched over. And we thought it was just something to do with the pneumonia. So we were just kind of like, okay, well, maybe this will pass because he's going through this. He's still recovering it. But it didn't pass, y'all. And from there, when it started happening every day, to the point to where like he couldn't stand up straight. His back started hurting real bad. We took him to Children's Medical Center, and again, that's when they did all the tests, couldn't find nothing, and they ruled it out as FND. And they was like, well, he need to take physical therapy. And I'm like, me personally, I felt like physical therapy was a waste of time, because a week after he was discharged from the hospital, he for like 1 hour, he had stood up and he walked into my room. He was like, Mommy, I can walk now. I can finally go to school. Because he ain't been at school for a while. He ain't been at school since April, since he was in the hospital. And it's the middle of May now, so it's been about a month he haven't been at school. And even before then, he had COVID, so that's 2 more months he haven't been at school. And then he finally went back, and now he's back out. So he was just really excited to, at least walk, because he thought, okay, I'm okay now. I'm cured now. and I get to see my friends, you know, because, you know, he's popular at school or whatever. But yeah, he's just really excited about it. So he walked out of my room. An hour later after that, he tries to get out of bed and end up falling because he couldn't walk again. And some days it's worse than others. Some days he's walking hunched over. Some days he can't walk at all. Some days I'm literally picking him up, you know, just to make him move or get him around from room to room to room. And about a week ago, it started to get worse. He started screaming to the top of his lungs, like, you know, like you watching a scary movie and then like you got the girl and she's screaming, like hollering, like picture that, like, ah! I'm not gonna do it because I've heard it too many times where my damn head is hurting. But yeah, just picture the most blood curdling scream, like somebody screaming to the top of their lungs. That is what my son is doing now out of nowhere. He haven't did it often within the past 24 hours, but then this past Friday and this past Saturday, he was screaming like that back to back to back to back. And not only was it just like a short scream like ah, it was like ah, ah. And it catches you off guard. You don't know when it's gonna happen. And he says every time it does happen, it's hurting his head. And I'm like, it's hurting your head? Shit, it's hurting my damn eardrum. And it's so like, you got to throw that into the mix now. And he's not able to see his neurologist until June. And that's just an estimate. Hell, it probably won't even be June. It probably could be, for all I know, July. So, yeah, I just wanted to tell people that there is a thing out there called FND. Still don't know where it could have came from. Don't even know why it happened. I still feel like it came from COVID. Truly, honestly feel like it came from COVID. It's scary because I don't know if this is something he's gonna have for the rest of his life. I don't know if this is something that's just happening as he's a child, because my son is only 9 years old. I don't know if this is, especially with the screaming, like, will he be able to have a normal life? Is that Tourette's now? Because I was researching about Tourette's and, you know, the things that happens with that. And it's just, some days I just sit here and I cry about it. Some days, you know, I put on my big girl drawers, literally, and just be like, okay, well, God gave this to me for a reason. It's happening for a reason. And I just wish I had the answers. Hopefully more people will become more aware of what's going on with this. Because from what I see, it's more prominent in kids that's, 16 to, was it 18? 6 to 16, something like that. And then as they get older, they grow out of it or it gets better. But yeah, it's definitely a thing. It's definitely something that is hard to deal with sometimes because it's no cure for it. It brings you uncertainty, you know, and you want your kids to be normal. You know, you want them to be able to go out there and play with other kids, have friends. And in a generation where people, grown ass people, I'm gonna say that too, and little kids love bullying people because they're different, it's just, that puts a lot of stress and strain on my heart. But yeah, that's what the video is, y'all. And stay informed. Until next time, I will see y'all in the next video.